So there was a new and recent update when it comes to ICP that happened not too long ago, even though nothing I say is financial advice. However, very recently, Dfinity developers, they made a post talking about how there was basically a new update that was available. And the thing is, the latest release, they say, right, I'm going to quote them, the latest release of the community-maintained Python agent for the Internet computer is now out. They continue on by saying how it's adding several new features to improve the developer experience. Why do I find this to be pretty interesting? Well, it's because, first of all, if we take a look at it, according to Statista Developer Insights, 57.9% of developers globally use Python. And again, this update right here is regarding Python, right? And it's like only logical for me to assume that if that many developers around the world allegedly know Python, this I think could indirectly improve the future adoption when it comes to ICP. Is it going to showcase it as of right now? Probably not by a whole bunch, because the space overall isn't doing the best. And also, when the space isn't necessarily doing the best, typically developers don't want to build anything, usually, from what I can see. So this is more so what it could do later on, but we have to consider there's still something going on when it comes to ICP. It's not like it's just forgotten about, because yeah, sure, ICP still below $3. I mean, we're taking a look at, for instance, it's around 42 times lower than 100. But the thing is, at the same time, at least I see something going on when it comes to ICP. So yeah, I mean, when people like to tell me that, oh, it's useless, no one cares about it, well, there's still something going on. And just think about this, right? If, let's say, this sentiment comes back in again and developers, they start focusing on ICP. With this update right here, it just makes things a little bit easier. So I think that could indirectly help it again later on. It might not showcase it as of right now. However, it's like growing a tree. You plant the seed, you water it, right? You put fertilizer and stuff, and then you wait for it to grow. It takes time. It's just not going to showcase it instantly from my experience. So when I take a look at something like this, I think it's kind of like planting the seeds right now for the tree to grow later on, maybe. So I just don't want to give up. However, yeah, sure, we're around 42 times again, lower than $100 when it comes to ICP. But here's the thing. I'm still dollar cost averaging once a month. I'm not complaining at all, actually, as of right now, because my intent is to dollar cost average, preferably at as low of a point as possible. So if it's below $3, I'm not going to be overly concerned whether or not it's like $2.40, $2.70, or whatever. As long as it's below $3, like, I'm not going to complain about dollar cost averaging at those ranges. This is just my opinion, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything. It's like, for instance, Bitcoin as of right now, it's like, slightly below 70 grand. Sometimes it goes there. It's kind of like around that as of right now. For the people who are still holding Bitcoin as of right now, who for whatever reason acquired Bitcoin at below $10 a long time ago, are they complaining whether or not they got it at like $8, $9, $7 or whatever? I highly doubt that. That's the thing. So when it comes to something like ICP, later on, if there's even a hypothetical altcoin season, we'll have to wait and see. Would I care if I dollar cost average at $2.80 or $2.20? Like, no, I would not care at all, because at that point, it's just negligible, right? I mean, I'm not really going to care about that type of stuff if the sentiment were to change. So when I take a look at something like ICP, I'm not too overly worried. The way to take a look at it is that it's a marathon for me. It's not a sprint. I just dollar cost average once a month, and I just wait and see what happens. But I'm going to be waiting. That's it.